Quarter Life Crisis. This is a podcast where we talk about surviving our 20s. Well, our 20s and how we survived. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Alyssa.
I'm Maya.
I'm Daniel.
And so this episode, we're going to talk about the shit show, also known as dating. And so grab your box wine, grab your tissues, and we'll try and figure this shit out this episode.
Yeah, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah. From experience, a lot of us were in long-term relationships. Now it's just them. Okay.
My relationship's not long-term, but I mean, it is long-term.
Oh,
sorry.
Married. I was like, aren't you literally married?
You said long-term, and I was like thinking long distance, and like, yep, nope,
It's okay.
never mind. Mm-hmm.
Next episode. Okay, so in your 20s, a lot of people are very controversial about whether or not you should be in a relationship or if you should be dating.
Yeah.
And for me personally, before 2 weeks ago, I was very much so, I love being in a relationship. I love to do relationship things. I love to like have that person for me. And so now I'm being forced to see the side of casually dating. So I don't know what you guys think about the benefits and stuff of both.
I think at a certain point by the end of the year, you're gonna realize how nice it is to be single in your 20s, dude. Cause
it better come. I hope it comes
especially once you start being able to drink in like real places instead of just hide away in your apartment.
I don't drink, guys.
We were talking about water.
Water.
The sponsor of this episode, water.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the perfect, because you're still figuring out who you are. We talked about last episode. Like, you're figuring out who you are.
Wait, let's preface this. I just got out of a 3-year relationship, and I'm 20. And so now I'm being forced into the single world.
So basically, your high school relationship is now over.
Wow, when he says it like that.
It feels a little bit more.
All right, so it's 3 years, right? And 2 of those years were 17 and 18, right?
Yeah.
That's like, okay.
It was.
No offense, I'm not trying to be mean.
No.
Yeah.
It's because, like, when you're, I'm still young, but especially, it was my first relationship.
Yeah. So
it was like my first everything. So I did put a lot of value into that relationship. So I do feel that, like, having those sort of relationships do help because, like, you're able to learn that people can love you and you can, form that sort of, like, connection with somebody that, like, you don't form with, like, your best friends or your
for sure,
your parents, but I do think that, like, being best friends with your partner is a great idea, but, like, when you're in a relationship, it's so much more than that.
Yeah, and you always appreciate the relationship, but
I will.
I'm telling you, by the end of the year, you're gonna be like, you know what, he's right, this is this singles in your 20s thing is pretty dope.
I hope so. Because it's like, I know that there's so many people out there, but I'm very much so in the stage where I'm like, I know I deserve somebody who will be there till the end, but I'm like, but I wanted it to be him. So I'm still, like, in the stage where I'm like, oh yeah, I don't need him. I'll be fine. But then I'm like, am I? So I think, like, that's the stage of, like relationships are good, but, like, it's just how you deal with, like, if you were to get into a breakup or if a breakup were to happen, like, learning to deal with it is, like, a big part of it.
And that's why I think casual dating is great, because it's like it's not a lot of pressure, and you get to, like,
have you casually dated?
Yeah, before my wife and I, but, like,
wife.
Yeah, sorry, I'm really old, so, like, don't take anything I say. This all means nothing. I'm just saying, like, you get to, like, take pressure off of, like, you get to have those nice things with a person because you're, like, dating them, but like, it's not always so serious. So it's like, whatever, you could do your own thing and, like, not have to worry about emotionally latching on to another person if you're not ready to.
Have you casually dated?
It's not for me.
Yeah,
no,
I feel like I'm a very.
I say hello.
Yeah.
So
that's because my roommate's mom was like, just like go on a bunch of dates with guys. Don't do anything with them, you know, just have some fun. I'm like, well, how do you not catch feelings? She's like, oh, you do, but you just don't do anything about them. I was like,
oh, girl.
I'm very much so a feelings. Not only am I a girl, I'm a Filipino, and I'm a Cancer. So it's all terrible.
You heard it here, folks.
You're a water sign?
Yeah.
I'm a water sign.
Are you?
I am.
So we both get attached really easily. So like I feel like casually dating for you might have been easy, because you might have been able to like not catch feelings.
I mean, I don't even know what sign I am. How do you know this?
When's your birthday?
When's your birthday?
November 29th. I think I'm a Sagittarius or whatever.
You-
If that's the same system.
I don't know, because
I don't know what.
November
if you guys-
29th?
Yeah.
I'm November 17th, and I'm a Scorpio. So I don't know when that.
I don't
But
know.
I think, yeah, because I'm like right on the edge. I don't know, man.
So he's either
That's
a
what I've
water
been
or a
told.
fire sign.
Anyways,
dang.
so
It's like
casually
Avatar,
dating. Do you feel like you were able to not get attached? Like
Well,
when
I
you're
mean,
casually dating, did you like want more with some people, but you just didn't act upon it?
Say that again.
Like, say you were casually dating people, like multiple people at once, and say like you wanted more from somebody.
Casual dating doesn't have to be multiple people at once either. Just it
like,
can just
okay, so
be
just like you're talking to
having
one
a little
person.
thing with a person while you're not like.
But like you never
necessarily-
thought about like having more with that person, and you just never acted on it.
I mean, it depends. Yeah, it's the thing about it.
See,
Is
that's
like
the thing. I'm like,
sometimes there's different attractions, right? You like get along physically and you have a good time, but then you're kind of like
You just don't
like I know this person isn't
clash
like
as people.
gonna be there forever. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to.
see, I can't even imagine having that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like you're in my life now, but I don't think I want you forever in my life. Maybe I'm just at a weird stage in my life.
But you also like you only know one type of guy.
Yeah, I have only ever
And
been in
so
one type
you
of
think you know
relationship.
what you want, but like you also like inevitably had issues with that guy, and then you might not want some of those things, and you realize that through casual dating.
And that's how you can also find out like what you like and don't like, because you have an idea of what you like,
Yeah.
but through trial and error.
Yeah. God.
Like otherwise, what's the plan? Like you break up with someone, and then you're like, okay, well the next person I date, I'm gonna try and make it last forever. Like that process to me, I'm like, what? How?
Yeah.
You
in
gotta
my
be
head-
really good at like
Yeah,
just picking
that's
people.
true. But like in my head, I'm like, I don't want to date somebody unless it's like I'm close with them, like I become best friends with them, and I have that connection with them. Like I do not want to get into another relationship unless like I genuinely see like I get attached very easily. You know what I mean? Like I always have had a fear of like people leaving my life, and so if like I don't know, like just being able to be like, oh yeah, like if you don't work out, then okay, beat it. Like I've always been like, oh yeah, if you don't want to be in my life, then leave. You know what I mean? But then at the same time, I'm like, but fight for this.
So like stay a little bit.
Like stay a little bit, you know. Anyways, okay, let's move into like the expectations of like the relationship between men and women.
Exactly.
I guess we kind of went into.
Yeah, but you also didn't think about men's expectations, because like you think I want this next guy, but like to be the one.
That's true.
But,
It's true.
Some of them are just like, I just want to fuck.
yeah,
That's true.
most of them, especially in their 20s. We talked about last episode. Brains aren't fully developed. They're still.
They think
they're
that
just
they're-
as hormonal as women are, if not more. And then being in college, they're always around.
That's why I
them,
want.
So it's kind of like
I want a rich billionaire. Buy me a car. Buy me a house.
I want that too.
He's open to
If we
men
could have
too
that.
if you're rich. So
Yeah, if you've got
If
the
you're willing to
cash,
pay.
if you're willing to pay,
I
swing
am-
both ways.
I have zero discrimination after a certain level of income.
Definitely. I'm very much so a relationship person, but then I've had friends where they're like, oh yeah, like my cousin's like, she's in I don't know how long they've been dating, like 5 years, and like she doesn't even know if she wants to marry her.
5 years.
Yeah.
Whoa.
She was like, I don't really know, and I'm like,
If I'm at that point in a relationship and like I couldn't decide, like I'm like I have no, I'm out.
Probably have to leave at that
Yeah.
point. If you're 5 years in, it's like, oh, I still can't see you as like a marriage material.
yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, because some people are like that. They're like, okay, I'll date somebody for a year and then I'll move on to the next. But it's like, how do you go dating someone for a year, like having those memories like for a year and then just going on to somebody else?
Well,
that's where I'm at. How am I supposed to go like 3 years?
I couldn't do that either. That's a long.
Wait, so have you
time,
had a
like-
relationship before your wife? Like a long term?
Yeah, not like not like a long one. She was my first like.
Fuck.
Yeah.
You don't either.
No.
Okay, so
how long have you and your partner been together?
Officially dating like a year and some months, almost a year and a half.
How long have you guys been together?
10 years.
Whoa.
We haven't been married 10 years, but we've been together 10 total. Yeah. So.
10's a big number.
That is.
I mean, a year and a half, you're like, well, are you starting to think about, like, is this the one? Like, I don't know how,
Yeah.
when,
But, yeah, because, like.
I'm going to put you on blast. Say
yeah,
it now. No, I'm kidding.
Like,
I mean, obviously, like, we talk about it and we're like, yeah, you're like, this is it. Because, like, we've been dating
that's how we
for a
talk,
while.
too.
Yeah. It's like, this is it. And because, like, we're graduating, like, in the spring. Like, we're graduating together. And, like, we're still going to... we're gonna like live together like afterwards.
Yeah,
so
you're at a stage where you're like starting your life, so it makes sense
yeah. We live together now.
Oh, that's nice.
So-
Wow, dude. So she does have this figured out when she's on this podcast. I don't think. All right, we'll just.
Yeah, my quarter life crisis is that I had that plan. We were good. We were in long distance. We were talking about moving in right after college, moving somewhere else together, and then figuring it all out from there.
Happens to a lot of people in their 20s, though. I mean, I
don't recommend it to anybody to ever fucking.
Yeah. I can tell you how many people that like you started dating a guy in high school, later years of high school, and then just dated them all the way through college, and then now they're not together. It's like, I mean, when you're that young, to me, it's kind of unrealistic. But somebody did it. I don't know.
God. Anyways, yeah. So I guess that's like a thing. Like some men, like not just men. Some people, men and women, they go into relationships. They stay in it for a while, and like they don't really expect anything for the future.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. Some people are like they want that, like you. They want those comforts of being in a relationship, but maybe they don't necessarily want to stay with someone forever. They're like, I don't want to be tied down forever, but I want the parts of being in a long relationship too.
Yeah.
Maybe that's gonna be you. You'll find out.
That like I'll like just the parts of being
1 year, move on.
Ooh.
Guys, I think that would be so stressful.
Tell him at the start of the date too. Just be like, hey, look, you've got a year. If you don't figure
Make
it out,
count.
I am
Make
on
it
to the
work.
next. That's another thing too. Like long distance is gonna kill lots of relationships like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you guys weren't even that far away, really, and you could go home often enough, but like
on breaks, I was able to go back down to Vegas.
It still isn't the same as like even living in the same city, you know?
No, yeah, it's like definitely not the same as living in the same city, because when I would go down for breaks when I was like there for like a month or so, he'd be able to just pick me up after work and then we'd hang out for the rest of the day, you know. But here it's like, oh, we have to call each other like in the morning, because that's when we would like talk about our day, you know. It's not like you're in person and you can tell them, oh, this is what I did, or you guys did the things together. Like you had to communicate a lot over long distance, so it was very, for the right person, definitely it's worth it. And I don't regret doing it at all, because I felt like it definitely helped teach me, like it helped show like if you truly love somebody, like you can work through things like that. I know eventually it didn't work in the end, but
I mean, I think
it just shows like what you're willing to do for love.
You're probably better at communicating than other people your age, because you had to
you were forced
and you have to do it in a different way, because you have there's no body language, there's no
you can't just sit
like,
down and have a conversation.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things, because my roommate's also in she's in a long distance relationship, and one of the biggest things is that when you get into arguments, like in person, you can just be like, okay, just give me a hug, like I'm sorry. Like my boyfriend would just like hug me and be like, okay, I'm sorry, like sit down and let's talk about it, you know.
Yeah.
But over the phone, there's no thing, you know, he can be like, I'm sorry, like, let's just sit down and talk about it. But if I don't have that physical touch, I'm very much so, like, still gonna be like, no, like, I'm still frustrated. I need to, like, you know. But definitely, like, being in person is a lot different than being far apart.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely pros to being long distance, because I've had to do periods of long distance with my wife before, and it's like, you know, if I need to get away, it's so easy because she's not there with me. But
No,
like,
yeah, you can have your break.
Yeah, you can have space.
Yeah, but then that definitely doesn't outweigh how, you know, being able to see and talk to the person right next to you. And, you know.
No, yeah. So, like, kind of going into that topic, like, balancing relationships, you know, like, with friendships and, like, your family relationships. Like, I definitely think in a lot of relationships, people, especially, like, in their first ones, they struggle, like, balancing, like, family ones with their new relationship.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you start dating someone, you want to spend all your time with them, you know? And so, in a way, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, like, my family's always going to be there. I'll have them to go back to whenever, like, I have some free time when they're not busy or when we're not doing anything. And I feel like that's something that a lot of, not even just, like, people in their 20s, a lot of people in general don't truly, like, recognize, is that, like, also continuing those friendships and relationships with your family members is important too.
It's huge, because, like, I mean, it's very easy. People talk about their friends or whatever getting too wrapped up in their new boyfriend or their new girlfriend or their new whatever.
But I understand why they did, because I felt very much so, like, I want to spend every single minute with this man.
Right?
But okay.
You do, especially because, again, you're so young and, like, everything is amazing all the time. So, like, when you're together, it's like, that's all I want to do.
Like, you never, it's like a drug. Like, literally, like, you get addicted to the dopamine that you get from being with them. And so it's like when you're apart, you feel so much lower than when you're with them, you know?
And then you slowly start to, like, if you do go too much, push yourself off into, like, you can only hang out with people who are already in a couple. Like, so now you have no more single friends. And then, like, but everyone's single in their 20s, dude. So, like, now you have no friends, you know?
Fun.
You know what I mean? So, like, you have to have those balances.
You know, it's definitely, like, a switch. Like, obviously, I knew in the relationship, I was like, I don't really care. I don't care to meet new people. I was like, I don't care to talk to people. It doesn't matter to me. But then, now that I'm out of it, I'm like, okay, I have to force myself to go do that, because I can't just isolate myself.
Yeah.
You know?
And, like, being able to hang out with your partner and your friends at the same time is, like, huge.
Yeah.
Because then, like, you can do both, which is, like, really good. 'Cause, I mean, at some point your friends are probably gonna hate your partner, but
No, yeah, because you definitely have to be able to, like, do you and your girlfriend, like, hang out with friends individually and together?
It's hard, because, like, her friends they're like a year older, so they're, like, graduating, they have, like, full-time jobs already, so it's hard. And then my friends, they're all, like, in, like, STEM fields, so they're always so busy. So even, like, before I was in the relationship, I didn't see them often.
Yeah.
And so now it's just, like, I see them less, because I'm always with her, but it's like, I don't know.
It's not because of her.
Because it's like
me too. Like, it's not that I saw my friends every single day. It's just COVID was happening. Like, I couldn't hang out with everybody. But when we started, like, dating, you know, like, they were busy, I was busy. Yeah. So it wasn't like,
it's not like I'm seeing them less because I'm dating her.
No,
it's just it's just I never saw them a lot.
It was just a situational thing.
Yeah.
But I definitely say that because, like, a lot of people will assume that people in, like, relationships, they stop hanging out with friends because they only want to hang out with that person. They, like, isolate themselves. Or, like, worst comes to worst, people are like, oh, they don't let them hang out with their friends anymore. Like, no, it's not that. It's that people get busy. Our schedules do not, like, last time when I was trying to hang out with my friend, we had to, like, schedule it, like, 2 months in advance.
No, literally.
And we were like, what the hell is even...
Yeah, man. We weren't that busy when I was your guys' age. I mean, we were busy, but not, like... If I was scheduling something with someone and it was, like, more than a week away, like, I just wasn't gonna schedule it with that person. Like, I'm not...
No, we had
but,
to.
like,
even with, like, our old, like, shared roommate, like, we're, like, talking to her, like, hey, when are you free this month that we can hang out? Like, what day is best for you? We have to plan it, because...
I very much feel that now, though. I mean, our best friends, like, live across the country, and so, like, it's even worse. Like we get to see them. It has to be a very strategic, very expensive plan. So like there's that. But then like, yeah, like the longer you're in a relationship, I think the less time you start seeing your friends, and then it does become that you're like, when are you free in the next 6 to 8 weeks?
I definitely feel like also like in a lot of relationships it comes towards like pushing each other, being like, go hang out with your friends, go hang out with your friends, because you know, of course you guys love to hang out with like just each other for all. Like me personally, like I loved when it was just like us hanging out and stuff, and he liked that too. But then eventually we're like, okay, we need to go hang out with friends, and we did do those things. But
me and my wife still do that though. I just say like she's always like, you need to go and hang out with your friends.
Yeah,
I would really love for you to hang out here instead, but I know that you need to go hang out with your friends, so I'm gonna tell you to do that, because it's like we've been together so long, but we're also like, there's a reason, like we just like hanging out with each other, like we don't, you know. And so like we're, you know, we've been together 10 years, but we're still, you know, hey, go hang out with your friends. You know, I know we don't want to, but like do it because we have to.
And I definitely felt like a lot of it, like I had to also like push myself to want to go hang out with my friends and go do other things, because like I loved like when you're in a relationship, you love hanging out with them, you know. And so having to take yourself away
hopefully
from that time. But it's also like, it just depends on the person too. Like a lot of couples, they like to go out together. A lot of couples, they like to do that stuff. Me personally, I like to lay in bed.
Watch a little movie maybe.
Yeah, watch a little movie.
Yeah, I'm very much a homebody. I'm like, we can do whatever.
Yeah,
as long as we don't have to leave this house.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the fun part. Breakups. I don't know. I guess they can't really talk a lot about it.
Yeah, no. It's all you.
I don't really. Okay, I have a lot to say on it, but at the same time, like I'm still very much so going through my first breakup. Like this is the first serious relationship I've had. It's my first relationship. I'm still trying to navigate the best way through a breakup. One of the things that like I was struggling like ever since the breakup is when I don't have my friends or my family to go to because, you know, they're busy. Then what do I do? And so
that's part of finding yourself, is like you got to know how to live with yourself,
by
yourself.
And that's one of the things, is because I think anybody that's getting out of a relationship should go to therapy, because it helps a lot. It helps like talking to a professional. Like it makes you
should go to therapy regardless of any relationship status at all ever. But yes, you're right. It is.
Yeah, I definitely think it's helped a lot, because, you know, they think of like different approaches and exercises for you to do that you normally wouldn't think of. And, you know, some of them, like if you would see them online, you'd be like, that's a little crazy, you know. But then when it's somebody like actually telling you, you're like, okay, I'll try it, even though it seems a little crazy, but it works. Anyways, what I was saying is that one of the biggest things like with the breakup is learning to fill in the spaces of your day, and like learning to unlearn the routine that you had with them. So like for example, like you and your girlfriend, you probably wake up together, you guys, I don't know, make breakfast, or you and your wife, like just stuff like that. It's okay. Well, you have a routine with her.
Yeah, no, for
you know,
sure.
You most likely say goodnight to each other. Good morning. You know, for me, the hardest parts is waking up, because that's when I got my dopamine hit of him. Because that's when I would talk to him. That's when we'd say good morning. That's when we talk about our day. That's when we joke around. But now it's like I call people and it's just all I can think about is like, this is what I would usually be doing, you know, and my body feels it too. And so like you kind of have to grow out of that that routine with them. And they talk about like the stages of, because like when you're breaking up with somebody, you're going through the stages of grief, you know, like I don't even remember, acceptance, denial, bargaining.
She's early in her therapy session, so like this is we have not learned the steps.
It's a little out of order. Bargaining, anger,
depression.
Depression.
There's something about, you know, throwing their stuff in the street,
lighting it on fire.
Yeah, lighting.
I literally
that's the anger
there's a fire step.
stage.
No, I'm very much so like you go through like a bunch of different stages, but I think for me, I didn't want to cut contact at first. And that's the thing, is that a lot of people tell you like cut contact. And I was like, I am not cutting contact with this man. I will very much so still be contacting him. We're not in contact right now. And honestly, like they're right. Cutting contact is probably like the best thing. we ended on good terms, but because we ended on good terms, I wanted to keep talking to him.
Yeah,
So-
that's another thing. Is like people think we end on good terms. We can just go to being friends, and like I know you have that hope, but I'm like,
Yeah, they know. I told them all.
I mean, you'd be the first. I mean, there's a reason.
It hurts like a fucking bitch. And I'm literally only like 2 weeks into this fucking breakup. And I haven't even, we've only been no contact for like, well, technically we were supposed to be no contact for a week, but if we're starting from the last time that we talked, Monday. Tuesday, I mean.
Tuesday?
So,
Let the record show
Wednesday.
it's Friday.
It was today. They talked this morning. If that's,
I wish, but
no.
but definitely like no contact. It sucks because like you crave the times that you guys would talk, and I know like
But
in person it would.
The best way to break the habit of always talking to that person is to not talk to that person, and then
but cold
eventually.
turkeying is so hard.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's why
technically
you.
you're not.
That's why you talked Monday.
I'm trying. I am trying.
No, I mean it's fine. You're not gonna be able to cold turkey. That's crazy. You were together for 3 years, but like, it's. I mean, it's okay to like fuck up and like, but like you have to understand. Like,
I thought about it last
you know.
night. I was like, do I? But yeah, definitely.
And be there for your friends when they break up with people.
Yeah, some people you have to be. I'm gonna say this right now. If someone is going through a breakup, you have to be so understanding of them. Even if like you've never ever been in a breakup before, like understand that they might snap at you, they might get angry, they might start crying randomly, they might need you to be there. Like
Guys too, they cry.
yeah, like you need. A lot of people like they don't want to voice it, but it's like if you're not willing to be there for somebody through everything of their breakup, like don't fucking be there at all.
And if they need to fist fight, you gotta fist fight them, just for
You
their
can get gloves.
so they can get over their
Maybe.
breakup.
Maybe.
Punching something.
Dude, wouldn't that be so fun? Just you get some gloves.
Let's
and
get
you,
someone that can be the next.
You and your
Yeah.
sister just go at it
You
in
can
the
get like
fucking
little
apartment.
padded
Just-
helmets.
No.
No, man, no pads.
Oh.
Just gloves.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Oh, yeah, we'll try that maybe. But
Just
definitely
keep them around for when your sister pisses you off the next time, and
Just
be
have
like,
them
"Put them on,
ready."
bitch. Let's go."
But yeah, definitely I will say like for breakups for me in my personal experience, I hope I don't have to go through it again. I wish a breakup upon nobody, not even my worst enemy. I do not wish this upon anybody, but definitely it's when they say it's a roller coaster, it's a roller coaster. Like
Yeah.
you're up one day and you're so far down, like you're like, how did I ever feel happy before? And then the next day you're like, I'm living my life. Like, I'm chilling, you know, like
Your next boyfriend's gonna be hotter. I'm just
better.
saying.
billionaire.
Yeah. Well, if he's a billionaire, he's not gonna be hot. That's kind of the
gonna be-
trade-off.
Old.
How do you know that? I mean, if
Name,
they're old,
Name a hot billionaire.
I don't know, guys.
I would say Mark Cuban is as close as you're gonna get, and that dude, he's just a regular guy.
Just a man.
Yeah,
Just a
it's a man with a face.
Yeah. I don't really know how I'm going to get through it, but I'm trying my best. We'll see if I'm here next week. So maybe you'll see me, maybe you won't. We clearly didn't figure anything out. Clearly, I didn't figure anything out in my breakup.
Yeah, she doesn't know if she wants to text him right after this or not. She probably
is
will.
still
If we
but
get
I don't-
one viewer, I will
One
do
person
it.
listens.
I will do it. I will.
Here's the thing: we're just not gonna post this episode till like a few weeks from now, so she has to wait.
I
to
will
even
do
see
it. Imagine.
One viewer.
Don't test me.
Yeah.
So do I
No,
text him?
that's the emotions of your 20s.
No,
dude.
and sometimes
Just
my
making
friends, they're
up-
like, just like my friend, she's a little crazy. She's like, just text him. I'm like,
Oh, I don't know.
oh, okay.
enablers, dog. I told you need better friends.
No, but then, God, it's just fun though, because I'm like, do I? Anyways, go ahead, end it, Daniel. Say your thing.
This is your bit now.
Say your close.
Hang on. Yeah, guys, if you have a podcast or you're thinking about wanting to start a podcast, the National Automobile Museum here in Reno has a wonderful podcast studio you can rent out. They do everything for you, editing. They have the camera equipment, the sound equipment, these lovely decorations if you need them. They also have an audio-only thing if you would like. So, yeah, go check that out. It's at www.automuseum.org/podcast. And, Yeah, I got a good memory. What?
That was good. That was
Yeah.
good.
All right, cool. Thanks. Do it or die.
Do I text him or not?